Hi everybody, it's Richard here again and welcome to another video. As promised in my last video, I said I was going to rank Slade singles. I did the T-Rex ones before Christmas, and I thought if you do T-Rex you have to do Slade, because Slade were actually in the UK the most successful glam rock band, especially from the years 1971 to about 75, with T-Rex being the second most successful. But Slade don't seem to get the credit that T-Rex does. Maybe it's because of the death of Mark Bowen, I do not know. But there was a rivalry there, and I remember Jim Lee saying he was delighted that Mama We're All Crazy Now kept Children of the Revolution off the #1 position. Now Slade had a huge 13 top 5 hits. 13 of them, and they had another 3 further top 10 hits, so 16 top 10 hits in all. They made a little bit of a revival in the 1980s and had a few hits, but generally their main years of success was between 71 and 75. Now I'm not going to include anything before their first hit, Get Down and Get With It. Sorry Tootin' Van Man, but I just don't have any of the singles. They're far too expensive. I can't afford them, and I don't particularly really need them anyway. I'm also not going to include anything by the Dummies. Now I only have one Dummies single, and that there is Didn't You Used to Be You, which is a good song, and it came actually from this album here, which is A Day in the Life of Dummies, which is also an excellent album. This is really a Jim Lee side project, and he uses a lot of Slade songs and re-records them, because he was convinced that a lot of the songs in the mid to later 70s should have been hits, but because they had the Slade name and they were associated with glam rock, they didn't stand a chance. Also in the UK, during their formative years, Slade released all their material on Polydor, and in the UK they never seemed to release picture sleeves. There was a couple which I'll show, but the majority of them came in just like this here, in the normal company bag with the Polydor label. So I'm going to replace a lot of them with foreign imports, non-UK singles. Now, okay, I'm going to have to speed through this because there's a hell of a lot. I said I would do top 20, changed my mind to top 30, and I said I'll probably end up doing the lot. So there's 47 of these. So we'll fire away. And at number 47 from 1978, and that's Give Us a Goal, and this is not great. It's Scraping the Barrel. It's a football song. Why oh why, I do not know, but they released it. 46 is from 1985, is Do You Believe in Magic, which is like a note to Bob Geldof's Band-Aid. It's alright, but it's a bit sappy really, but it's not too bad I suppose. Number 45, and this is Scraping the Barrel again, but it's good fun, and this is from 1979, and this is Okie Cookie, and yes, it is the song you're thinking, put your left leg in, your left leg out. But it's a good wee rockin' track, and there's a good video on YouTube of this as well. Number 46, and this was released in 1988, and this is Let's Dance, and this is the Chris Montez number. It was originally on the 85 album Crackers, the party album, but this is a remix. Again, it's not bad. Number 43 is their very last single, and that's Universe, and this, along with Radio Wall of Sound, were written and recorded to promote the Wall of Hits album. It's a little bit boring, but it's still not a bad single. Number 42 from the Rogues Gallery album, and this is the second single, 7 Year Bitch. It's just standard 80s fare. It's sing-alongable, but you know, it's nothing spectacular. Number 41 from 81, and also from that same album, is All Join Hands, and this is another one of those scarf waving songs, slow songs, which is a bit sentimental, but it's okay. It goes on a little bit too long, so that's number 41. Number 40, and this is Slade's ode to the Beastie Boys, and this is You Boys Make Big Noise, which sounds exactly like Wanna Fight for Your Right to Party. This, funny enough, wasn't on the You Boys Make Big Noise album, so the title track didn't actually make the album. It did make a bonus cut in the CD, but it's actually quite good fun, but really compared to the rest it's not that great. Okay, number 39 from the same album, and is That's What Friends Are For. Again, a little bit sentimental. You find that with the Slade stuff of the 80s. A lot of the singles were very sentimentally based, but they weren't bad, and it's got a good tune. So that's number 49, That's What Friends Are For. Another big bombastic ballad comes in at 48, and that's C'est La Vie, released in 1982 and also featured on their 83 album, The Amazing Kamikaze Syndrome. It was the first song. Yeah, it's okay. It's, as I say, big bombastic ballad. It's okay. Okay, where are we at now? We're at number 37, and from 1979, and this is Ginny, Ginny, and this featured on the Return to Base album. Yeah, it's good rocker. We're starting to get slightly better songs now, so good rocker. This was also re-recorded for that Dummies album. Now I'm cheating a little bit here for 36 because I don't have the single, so this is actually a B-side I'm going to show, and this is Sign of the Times from 1979. It's actually the B-side of Lock Up Your Daughters from 81, but I'll show this. The single's far too expensive. I'd love to have it, but it's far too expensive. This is another ballad, but this is more like in the vein of Everyday rather than the big My Oh My, C'est La Vie type stuff, or All Join Hands. So this is quite good, and this is from Return to Base as well. And talking of My Oh My, a number 2 hit single. This comes in at 35, and this brought Slade back to life, really. Although a couple of years previous they did have a top 10, but this nearly made the number 1. It's a good song. It is a scarf waver again, and you know, it doesn't compare to their 70s material. Now number 34, maybe a bit of a surprise, and this is their first hit, Get Down and Get With It. I like it, but never that keen on it. It was never one of my favourites, so I think maybe the voice annoys me a little bit too much, and it is a cover version. I think it was, I'm not actually too sure who wrote this or recorded this. Was it Little Richard? I'm not sure. So Get Down, Get With It comes in at number 34. Number 33, and the third single and second hit, big hit from Amazing Kamikaze Syndrome, is Run Run Away, and this got top 10 in 1984, and this actually charted in America. This was their biggest success in America. Very big country influenced. Yeah, it's a good song. The LP version's a little bit better because it's got a better drum intro. Okay, number 32, and we're going to 1987 again, and another single from You Boys Make Big Noise, and this is We Won't Give In, and this is a really good sing-along song. Really enjoy it. It's one of the better 80s singles. And at number 31, from Till Death Do Us Part, and this is Lock Up Your Daughters, and this is a really good hard rocker, and this managed to scrape, it just failed to make the top 20, I think got to about 22 or so, but it's a really good song. Number 30 from 1976, and we have Let's Call It Quits. Top 20 single, but Slade were on the wane at this time. This is from the Nobody's Fools album. Yeah, it's a standard Slade song. It is quite good. Sometimes I really like it, sometimes I don't. But generally, it just, for me, it makes the top 30. So number 30, Let's Call It Quits. Number 29 from 1978, and I do like this. This is Rock and Roll Bolero, and this is like a disco-y type song. Between 77 and 80, Slade hadn't a clue where they were at, and this is one of the directions I actually quite liked. There was a little bit of a disco vibe to it, but it's a good song. Rock and Roll Bolero at number 29. Okay, now where are we at? Number 28, and from 1970, where are we? Yeah, 1975, and this is In For A Penny, and this was the first single from the Nobody's Fools album, and it got top 20, I think again number 13 or 14 or something. This is good, it's got a very Parisian feel to it, and you can see the guys on Supersonic performing this. So In For A Penny is my number 28. Number 27, and the second single taken from Old New Borrowed and Blue, and that's Everyday. It's a really good ballad. We're getting into the really good stuff here now. So this actually charted a few years ago and actually got top 75 again. I think it might have been used as a TV advert. So Everyday, good ballad, and that's my number 27. Number 26, and we have Still the Same from 1987, and this is the best Scarf Waver one of the 1980s. I really do enjoy that, and this is the first single from You Boys Make Big Noise. Okay, number 25, and a good hard rocker from 1977, and that is Burning on the Heat of Love, which didn't feature on any album, although a live version did feature on Slade Alive Volume 2. Number 24, and the second single from We'll Bring the House Down is Wheels Ain't Coming Down, although this was also on the Return to Base album, but it hadn't been released as a single until they released the We'll Bring the House Down album on the strength of We'll Bring the House Down being a hit single in 1981. But this is a really good song. Number 23, we have the Live at Reading EP, which was really what kick-started the revival when I think it was Ozzy Osbourne pulled out of the Reading Festival. Slade came in, they weren't going to do it, Dave Hill wasn't going to do it, but he was persuaded, and this actually made the top 50, so it brought them back into the studio, and then We'll Bring the House Down came a hit after that. So this is good. When I'm Dancing I Ain't Fighting is the lead off of this. Okay, number 22, and from 1981 is Knuckle, Sandwich and Nancy, which a lot of fans don't like. I think it's a great rocker. It's featured on the Till Death Do Us Part album. Number 21, and we have the tribute to Elvis, My Baby Left Me, That's Alright, from 1977. As you can see there, Dave has shaved his head, I think, to make him look a little bit more like a punk, and bring Slade up to the 1977, but it didn't work. It was a minor hit single for them, and it's a really good medley. Okay, number 20 from 1974, and this is The Bangin' Man, and this is slightly more bluesy than the normal glam stomp that you would have from the earlier Slade singles. It is very good. The B-side of this, She Did It To Me, is absolutely amazing ballad, and should have been on Old New Borrowed and Blue. Okay, number 19, I'm going to show a 12-inch here, and this is Six of the Best, and this is from 1980, with the lead-off track being Night Starvation. It was then to feature on the We'll Bring the House Down album. So whenever We'll Bring the House Down album came out, which the single was released about a month or so beforehand, every single song of that album had been previously released. So it was effectively a compilation, but we look at it as a full studio album. But this is really good, 6 tracks. 9 to 5 is the one that is unique to this here 12-inch. It didn't feature on any of the albums. Okay, number 18, and the third single from Till Death Do Us Part, released in 1982, and this is Ruby Red, and this is as catchy as hell. This is a fantastic single. I remember buying this at the time. And you have a live version of Rock and Roll Preacher as a double single, leading the second disc. Number 17, and their second last single from 1981, and it's Radio Wall of Sound, and another fantastic song. And Telegram Sam is mentioned in this as well. Jim Lee, I think, had a fixation with T-Rex, but it was Jim Lee. This is the only Jim Lee led vocal on any Slade single, I think. I found really, really brilliant song, and it managed to break the top 30, so that was great. Okay, number 16 from 1971, and this is Look What You Done, and this is a piano led stomper. Really, really good. Excellent song. Love it a bit. Wasn't featured on any album. Okay, where are we now? I'm getting all confused here. Number 15, and a number one hit from 1973, and that's Squeeze Me Please Me, straight in at number one. They had 6 number one hits, 3 of them in 1973, and all those 3 got to number one in their first week. So Squeeze Me Please Me, great. I like this single because it's actually edited. Whenever you hear the song elsewhere on compilations, it's always a full length version, which doesn't work quite as well because it's not a good enough song to be nearly 5 minutes long, whereas this is about 3.5 and it works perfectly. Okay, number 14, another number one hit from 1972, and this is Mama We're All Crazy Now. I know Joan Jett does a good version of this, and I think Quiet Riot also did a version of this. Great song, Slade classic, but it still can't make the top 10 for me. So Mama We're All Crazy Now at number 14. And number 13 from 1971, and their first number one hit, and that's Cause I Love You, and Jim Lee's violins all over this. It's just a really, really good song. So that's Cause I Love You at my number 13. Number 12, and this is Gypsy Roadhog from 1977 from the album Whatever Happened to Slade. Very minor hit, but absolutely fantastic song. Number 11, personal favourite, always like it, is My Friend Stan. Again, it's a bit like Look What You Done. It's a piano led stomper, and I loved this as a kid and I still love it now. So My Friend Stan, number 11. So we get into the top 10. There's going to be a few surprises for real Slade fans here. At number 10, I Can't Help It, We'll Bring the House Down. I absolutely love it. I sing along to this. I love the drums in it. I love the whoa 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 whoas bit. But it's a fantastic song, and it got top 10 in 1981. Number 9, and the Christmas favourite, Merry Christmas Everybody. I'm still not sick of it. I don't play it that often at Christmas, but this straight in at number 1 in 1973, and it's charted God knows how many years after. So Merry Christmas Everybody is my number 9. Number 8, another standalone single, and this is from 1975, and this is Thanks for the Memory. And this has got a more soulful feel to it. There's a little bit of a funky feel to it. Brilliant song, and their last top 10 of the 70s. Okay, number 7, and the second single from In Flame, and that is How Does It Feel? And this is one of Noel Gallagher's all-time favourite songs. This is Slade's Bohemian Rhapsody. It is an immense piece of work. Absolutely brilliant. I don't think it was a fantastic idea to have it as a single, as it was the first one not to reach the top 10, but I suppose by that time, early 75, all the glam rock acts were suffering anyway. Okay, the biggest surprise at number 6 for me is from 1985, and this is Mysterious Mr. Jones, which I think is an absolutely really brilliant song. It is very keyboard led, but it's a really fantastic, catchy number. I always thought Morrissey would do a really good version of this, but yeah, Mysterious Mr. Jones from 1985, and this is on the Rogues Gallery album. Number 4, sorry, that was number 6. Number 5, and this is the third single from Nobody's Fools, and this is the title track, and this failed to chart, so that just goes to show that they were starting to fall apart a bit. But this is really soulful, and this has got female singers, backing vocalists, and it is brilliant, and there's a great wee video on YouTube as well. So Nobody's Fools is my number 5. Number 4, and a number 2 hit from 1974, and that's Far Far Away, the first single from In Flame. Beautiful, beautiful song. You know, I just can't say any more about it. It's top notch. Number 3, and this is a glam rock favourite, and this is Take Me Back Home, and it's a number 1 hit from 1972. There's a great video for this. If anyone ever says to me, define glam rock, I just say the word fun. And I'm going to put a link under this video for the video for Take Me Back Home. It just goes to show what glam rock's all about. It's brilliant fun. So that's my number 3. Number 2, and their number 1 hit from 1973, and that's Come On Feel the Noise, which was a big hit for Quiet Riot, and also Oasis covered this as the B-side of the Don't Look Back in Anger single. Straight in at number 1. It's an iconic Slade glam rock classic, but it just doesn't quite make my number 1, because my number 1 single for Slade is the single that was just before it, and this is Goodbye to Jane. Only got to number 2 in the charts, but this is from the Slade album. Mama We're All Crazy Now was in the same album. I absolutely love this. I love the drum opening, and I just love the song. Sing it from start to finish. Brilliant. It's a real sing-along song. It really is really good. So number 1, Goodbye to Jane. Okay, so there's my ranking of the Slade singles from 71 to 91. I hope you enjoyed it. As I said before, they don't get the same recognition as, say, T-Rex does. You don't really hear Slade on the VC, and you don't really hear about them elsewhere either. They seem to be forgotten about, and as I say, 16 top 10 hits, and they had about 2 or 3 number 1 albums as well. So they were very, very successful, and I think that irked Jim Lee and Noddy Holder a bit, because they were the most successful group to come after the Beatles. Okay, then ABBA took over because they were even more successful, but still their chart record is immense. Okay, that's me for now. I hope you enjoyed that, and I hope to have another video quite soon. All the best now. Bye bye.